Hello and welcome to SGDC with your self-loving host, for once, Ryan. We're here to show our stuff at Spelkollektivet Game Developers Conference. Conference is a very fancy word for it. But we are a co-living, co-working environment in the south of Sweden, the only one in the world, and there's a bunch of indie developers in this house, this co-living, co-working house, who share their stuff every week. And this is what this is. So if you wandered in here not knowing what the hell this is, that's what it is. So, I'm going to change up order of things. I'm going to start with some introductions today. So first up with a reintroduction, it's Flan.
Hey. Let's open up. No. Oh my gosh, I'm so good at Swedish. I think I need to translate my slideshow. So I've been here for quite a while now, and I've just come back from a 3-month break. So this is Hey 2.0. My name's James or Flan. I go by Flan mostly. I come from the UK and various places, sort of moved around a bit. I have he/they pronouns, so I prefer they actually at this point, but I'm fine with either. Just some sort of facts about games I'm playing. I copied these slides from my introduction from last time. I'm still playing Legends of Eidolon, and I'm always playing Minecraft. And I also have a lot of Magic the Gathering, and I even brought some more with me again. I'm always down to play. I also added. I may have picked up one of my favourite childhood MMOs a while away because I was a bit bored, and I haven't installed it on my computers in Spelkollektivet yet. I probably need to avoid doing that, otherwise that would just be my whole visit. I mostly work on Flan's mod for Minecraft. It's been around for 13 years, I don't know, almost 14 years I think. I started out just adding a biplane and then added guns and stuff and tanks and all sorts. What I'm doing at the moment is updating it to more modern versions and rewriting it as I go. So this is a slide from last time, which was my initial plans. I slightly edited. So I was going to come here for 6 months. It was 15. And basically I have been trying to stay as much as I can with, basically waiting for visas and things. I'm back and I hope to stay for as long as I can. One of my plans was to update my mod to 1.19, and I did. It's been rebranded as Flan's Mod Reloaded, because it's not quite the same. It's all sort of rebuilt from the ground up. I released guns and attachments and things. So the next stop, we need vehicles. I don't know about trains, but I would love to have trains. And I also wanted to check out some, when I first came here, I was like, let's have a look at some new ideas, let's look at some of my old ideas, let's just find out, let's make something. I've been making Quarter 1996 with Mariana, who is joining us again in January. We've been working on this. It is a point-and-click adventure exploring, I guess, East European, post-Soviet nostalgia, and just digging through people's stuff. So I just wanted to add this slide as well, because we did release a demo. That was the last thing we did before Mariana went on holiday and I went on holiday. So once Mariana's back, we will be working on this again and pushing from the current demo state to a full release. It does say planned release 2025 on the Steam page, and I'm hoping we'll meet that. We'll see. That's just a quick introduction of me, reintroduction, I guess. Any questions? Oh, Brian.
How long do you plan on being here again? How long you will?
Well, as you can tell, going from 6 initial, my booking of 6 to I just wanted to stay as long as possible. I am kind of trying to I love Spelkollektivet. I'm kind of trying to live here as long as I can. Occasionally, I will have to go back because of visas and Brexit. Hopefully a while, at least until the end of the year.
Thank you.
Next up, we've got another introduction, but from a new homie. It's Pierce. Okay, never mind. I misread and didn't realize it was a private presentation. We'll do that at the end after the stream is done. Okay, let's go back to regular order. This is what happens when I mess with order. I mess with the order of things. Okay, something maybe to do with not us or not us. I don't know. Not us. It's Andreas.
I thought was thinking about the stuff.
Think about the stuff. Well, it's not us.
Well, I'm sure there will be some. I call it background origins.
So it's just called us.
Because I forgot that I've actually made this because I present so seldom now. I made a thing. It was like, do you want to know what Not Us is? Here's all the stuff. So glance at that. That is the game. We're not going into anything more because I've noticed the last time that I really talk a lot about stuff I hadn't planned. So here's the team. It's finally official. These are the people and me. And this is what I talked about last time. Basically that my brain and I have an uneasy relationship. And that's also a very long story, but now I am summing it up into a banner so that in future presentations, wherever I need to go into that stuff for some reason, I can just rely on this and stop talking about it. So that's the banner. Or header, apparently. And I already said this. So, as an example, I'm gonna do the background : origins because I can't do a whole because of my brain. I can't just do like hello, hey, it's me. Instead, I'm just gonna do whatever I feel like talking about me, spread out over many presentations. So just suck it. I am older than you guys, but younger than some buildings. It's impressive. Basically, I guess I'm a coder. That's if I was forced to answer. I also want to call myself an entertainer, but that's not in the ads for work. Just been doing hobby game dev since the Commodore 64 days, and liked gaming in the 80s and 90s. But then thought that everything was just going into everything became Call of Duty or something. So I was like, I'm out. I'm just gonna make my little games and not show them to anyone. And I learned what indie dev is, I think, when Minecraft was in alpha. And I was like, that's fucking awesome, but I don't know, too late for me. I'm making money elsewhere. And then I died inside and couldn't make games anymore. And that was horrifying, but I had a dog, so I did pretty okay, but I didn't make games. And someone really pushed me into talking to James, even though neither me or this person knew what James was about, which probably helped. And I came here, and as I usually say, funny fact, I booked 17 days and I still haven't left, and that was 4.5 years ago. Now I prolong my stay a year at a time, which James finds hilarious. But I don't know, months maybe into my stay here, let's say half a year, I just started making a game again. That is now gone. And instead my dog died, and I needed to make this passion game, Not Us, instead, as a way of coping. That explains a lot about the game design decisions, by the way. So I'm always up for criticism of it, but you're most likely going to get this brain header thing coming at you saying like, I don't know why I'm doing it this way. Let's just hope there's a player base, a niche player base for it. That would be cool. So now into Not Us. We're talking logos today with Miriam, who's back in Mexico. And here's what she sent me earlier today. And I needed to pick one, and I started by saying I like all of them. I like a lot of them. But she was like, no, you got to pick. So I made a top 3. This one I like because it's pretty like basic, and it works then went very small, and it reminds me a little bit about the old logo. So I just had to go like, this is the classic. This one is fucking awesome because as you can see, there's a village up there, and then her wagon up to the right, and with some trees and everything, and it kind of felt like we could incorporate the whole story visually into a logo. It's awesome, but it does not work when it's small. So I picked this as my favorite because, as I told Miriam, this creeps me out, and that's good. You can see, I don't know if maybe I got this immediately, but maybe not everyone does. Those two are lizard and goat, but made in this awesome creepy way that I, as I said, love. And I actually told her to crank up the whole witchy creepiness if she can in future versions. So yeah, that's it. Questions? Thank you.
Next up, I've been bugging her for weeks about sharing stuff at SGDC, and I'm not sure if that actually worked, but maybe it did, and I'm going to take responsibility for it. Hannah's going to share some stuff.
If the game ever gets finished, it's Brian's bugging. Also, I can't breathe through my nose right now, so I'm sorry if I sound like I'm walking up the hill. But yeah. So yes, I'm facing my demons. So I showed this last time, and this is where I was for a long time. I was stuck in. I love just sitting on ideas and not doing anything about it, and then I get really sad about not doing anything when I could just do things. But yeah, I was last weekend. I was like, well, I kind of am tired of being insecure about sitting on it, so I'm just gonna actually do something. So yeah, so I feel like last time I presented, which was 2 months ago, I talked about the idea, but it was super vague because I'm horrible at explaining ideas. But basically, the game that I'm working on is about like anxiety and trying to maintain focus in a like really stressful environment, and it's about like the hell that is public transport, like all the noises and people that don't know how to behave. And basically, the game is that you have a stress meter which you have to maintain. You have to do this by collecting items, using them correctly. So basically, solving puzzles. You have to talk to your characters in the game. And your choices will matter, hopefully. So yeah, there's hopefully going to be a few different outcomes. Right now I'm planning 3. One of them is just failing the game because you die of stress or whatever. But there's going to be a good and bad ending at least. And I'm hoping for more, so the choices matter is a bit cooler than just, I don't know, changing the story of the game while the game is running. And I actually did some things as well. So I worked on some 3D art. I've tried to really, really minimize it because I feel like I always start doing the art stuff and then I kind of lose the track. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make a prototype. I'm literally gonna work on the features and nothing else. So yeah, I have an inventory. I can pick things up. Whoa, this is so crazy. And I also have characters that talk to me, which is not anything crazy, but I feel like I can say repeat it. I'm not a programmer. I don't understand how programmers think. I don't know what to do. I see blueprints and I even stress out. So the fact that the fish is talking is kind of crazy. And right now I'm just working with a bunch of placeholders. The fish actually makes gun noises when it talks. But yeah, I actually was very motivated the last weekend when I did those things. So I'm actually making plans for what I'm going to do next, hopefully over Christmas. I want to fix the dialogue because right now it's more like monologue. The fish is just telling you that it loves you, but like you can't say anything back and the choices do not matter because there's no choices to be made. The stress meter, it actually does exist. And like you are affected by some things on the map, but the stress meter doesn't go up like it's supposed to. You're like supposed to relieve the stress, but that doesn't work. You just die of stress no matter what you do, basically, which is also a bit relatable, but okay. I also want to figure out the story writing progression and the missions at the tasks. So the prototype is not just features sitting randomly on the file, but I can actually maybe make it work and figure out what I can add, what I should take away, basically make decisions which I hate. And it's a little bit of art and some small cool details, but I really try to keep it minimal and just push through the horrible part that is like programming. And like I chose blueprints for a reason, and I even hate those, so help me. But yes, I'm hoping that I'm gonna make the promise right now, and I guess I have a history of breaking promises, but I will present in the new year in January when the first SGDC of the year is, and hopefully I have some things to show from this list. So yes, thank you. Any questions? Yes.
How would you feel when you got the like pickup inventory? Like, was that a pretty good feeling, like when you got that done?
Yeah, that's the only thing that actually works. There's like an inventory view, you can open it, and it's like, whoa. I'm following tutorials, so I can't take any credit, but there was like one instance where I wanted to customize one part to fit more for what I was looking for, and it actually worked. Like my brain took the nodes and connected them correctly. It took like shit ton of tries, but like I was so proud of myself because I can't like get it through like enough that I don't understand this on any kind of level. Like this doesn't connect to my brain. I just like shiny, glittery, cute things. I don't like nodes. But yeah. Yes.
Are you drawing inspiration from any particular games or media for this, or is it just purely from yourself?
I think the gameplay, like, it was very random inspiration. I saw a post on Tumblr, which was something like going on public transportation without headphones is like being in medieval times without a sword. And I was like, yeah, I get that. It's just like the overall experience of like taking Swedish trains and stuff. It's horrible. So yeah, that's the gameplay part. It's just like my everyday life, and I'm putting that into a game. And the artistic part, I'm really inspired by these random games you find on itch.io that are like, you can tell that the people maybe aren't artists, but I want to achieve that by being an artist. Like I want like a weird liminal feeling that is not like super well thought out kind of liminal look. So yeah. Yes.
How much do you expect your story to branch?
I'm trying to stay very realistic because if I'm impressed by making inventory system, then I can't right now be too ambitious. But like, it would be nice if the choices did actually matter. So like you could get like quite a few times of gameplay just to find all the different endings to the game. It would be nice, but I'm not going to give a number.
Probably smart.
Yes, plan.
What if I play the game and my stress meter is low on the screen, but I'm actually really stressed?
Then I think the game has also probably served its purpose a bit. Like, if the game is literally about being stressed out and you are stressed out, then I think it achieved something. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up to share an update on whodunit, it's Mauricio and I assume Nathaniel as well.
Yes.
Hello again.
No, it's there. Hi.
Hello again.
Hello again. 2 times. It's been 6 weeks. Why is making a game so much work?
I put this sign in because my standards were too high for playtest. Sorry, we keep saying that next time we'll do playtest. Tomorrow we will actually playtest, and it won't be pretty, and I just won't say anything about it. on that note, there's a lot of sequences in the game where I'm like, okay, it's not important to have this figured out, so I'm literally just scribbling panels. I'm just doing the bare minimum of like, okay, I just need something to change here. I don't need it to be perfect. I don't need it to all react to everything. And then this phone thing, I literally just stapled someone else's code, and then this GIF doesn't show what I did to it, but I'm doing things to it. It's probably all going to change eventually, but for the playtest, this is the kind of stuff I'm doing now. It's like I just need to put random stuff in there just so it works.
I'm so happy that we have the pressure of playtest now, because now Nate is doing code, and I'm like, yes, like fuck yeah. I love when like artists do code. It's fun.
That sounded so condescending.
No, I meant it like so seriously, because it's like literally like
okay,
like programmers get it.
Whatever.
Dialog boxes. We made a new dialog box with animations, and now it also has a different style for the interrogation parts. So we wanted to make sure that during the talk parts, you get a different dialog screen, and it's like, it's a different flow of information that you're getting, because in this one you're like pressing people, and it just like fits, So yeah. Oh yeah. We have a video of the new menu that we made. So we made a pause menu, and that's also like the loading and save things. So it renders the screen, and it uses like a color filter on it and like a halftone thing. And it's really funky to use, and also your saves, they store where you would left off at what time, and you get a little screenshot of the last thing you saw when you saved. So that was very fun to program, and just it's fun to see.
Can this be nice to me, please?
Yeah. Okay. So the pause menu, there you can see the first little sketches, and that's how we started going on there. I wrote here, like, more experience means cooler menus and less time, which is a cool thing, because when I got here, I didn't know how to use RenPy, and now that I understand it, I can make, like, this menu, it took 1 day, and previous menus, it took, like, 2 or 3 days. But this does mean that I will have to redo other menus, because they're not up to par with the stuff we're making now. So that's a downside, but, we're planning on releasing early builds of the game. This is part of understanding our audience, which is like, the visual novel space, and we like notice that early builds are really popular. And also we want to get this opportunity for feedback, testing, building community, and everything.
This is a mock-up that Mauricio made in like Photoshop or something.
Yeah, this is not a real page just yet.
Yeah, and he started posting.
Oh yeah, he started posting because we have to get over the mindset of like, oh, but it's a surprise, because what's a surprise if no one's there to witness it?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I started posting a bit of it. For you, it's more difficult since you're doing more writing right now. But
I can't really post that.
Yeah,
it's not very postable.
Yeah, because that is a surprise. The story of the game should be a surprise, right? Yeah. But
we're kind of speedrunning this game, and as a result, I'm not doing a lot of final assets, and it is hard to market that sort of thing. But that's why the UI is nice, because it's very flashy and cool.
And I get people telling me, I suppose you're a Persona fan.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, yeah, I am.
This is the kind of stuff I've been doing. I can't post that, it does. I don't know. It's just a lot of words. It's very, very nice though. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with what we did. I hope it doesn't completely crash and burn when we playtest. But everything is playable. Everything has things happen when you click on it, and there's lots of reactive text and things of like, anticipating where players might be like, oh, I heard this one, what if I go back there, That's the kind of stuff I put in the game. And that's the kind of stuff I want to keep putting in the game based on our playtests, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, we'll be at playtesting Friday, so come join the dining hall tomorrow to play Whodunit. It's a bit long for like sessions, so right now we have I think around 2 hours of things, so it's fine if you don't finish what we have. But we will be sitting behind you, taking notes. You will be our test subject.
That's it.
Any questions?
Yep.
Hi.
So the little like on the pause menu where it says like hold on a moment, is that a Persona reference?
So, like, maybe it was my subconscious telling me, because I know that, like, I noticed after I made it, like, oh wait, Persona has like these little like cool text things always. That's like, don't look at me like
Pretty
that.
sure that was a placeholder.
Yeah, it was like a placeholder.
We're actually in all the menus that have scrolling text, we're gonna put in baseball jokes. For reasons that aren't obvious, because we've never talked about baseball very much for this game. So
maybe next week.
or maybe when you playtest, you'll see.
Oh.
You'll see why it's fun. But Josh,
Do you have any type of community hubs or discords or anything where people can follow the game or where you're building a community?
did you make a blue sky?
I did it. Don't just yet, but soon. Yeah. When we publish the itch.io page, I believe we'll start making like a Discord for it.
Yes.
Like a social media.
Yeah, there will be like probably a Blue Sky account, probably a Twitter account.
I'm okay with a Discord.
Yeah, Discord. If there's a demand for it, I guess.
Even if it's 5 people, we'll have so much fun.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Just to give myself a little bit of an applause. Next up, it's me. Only when I reach the podium can you stop, and I reached very quickly. I kind of last minute decided to share some stuff. I shared voice acting last week for Craft, but this week I want to share music for the rhythm games in Craft when you're doing the smithing. Now, none of the music here is anything I've made. However, as part of the process, I made very basic guide rhythm tracks for Adam Bow, our composer, to kind of use as inspiration for writing the music around. And each of the music tracks is based on a different aesthetic that you can do in the game. Let me put a timer on. So you can make a minimalist kind of blade, or a natural looking one, ominous, cute, elegant, recycled. So there's different types of aesthetics, and he's written different music for those based on the patterns that I supplied. So I'll just hit play and I'll mute the mic. With minimalist, Adam wanted to just use basic chords rather than having melodies, and just kind of following the rhythm to differentiate it from the rest of the styles. So there's going to be 6 patterns in each aesthetic at different tempos and sometimes different time signatures, so people have a bit of variety within the aesthetics as well. Next up is the nature aesthetic. Another pattern from nature. He's used a lot of woodwinds and tribal kind of drums to kind of convey nature, I think. Next up we have ominous, which I think incorporates cello, and I also made these in an odd time signature, so they sound a bit kind of unhinged. So I wanted to give him something to do ominous to that would sound a bit strange. Second pattern now. Next up we have cute. Second pattern for cute. I think the kind of high-pitched kind of accordion or concertina really kind of gives that continental cute vibe. I don't know, it sounds continental to me, like I'm sitting at a cafe and want a baguette, but that's what I always associate accordions with. Next up, elegant, which I done in a waltz rhythm to kind of give that sense of a ball or elegance. Second pattern for elegance. So the last of the aesthetics is for recycled. So this is when you're taking different materials and kind of fusing them together and reusing them to create something. When I made the patterns for this, I had already made all of the other patterns for the aesthetics. So I actually took parts of the patterns from other aesthetics and stuck them together just to kind of recycle my material that I was using for Adam to use. I think he followed that mostly, but I think he changed some of them slightly. So this is recycled in the last set of aesthetics. I like that with this one, it sounds like he's playing a bike or something, or some mechanical thing. Second pattern for recycled. Okay, that was a small sample of the different rhythm game patterns for Craft. There's a bunch more than that within those aesthetics. Does anybody have any questions? Yeah, Matteo?
Are there like, is there pattern like variation in like the actual rhythm game element, or is the music meant to like reflect what the pattern, like, are there set patterns in like when you're supposed to like hit the hammer, or are those randomized, and how does the music?
The patterns are preset. Like the patterns that I made, I made basic drum patterns, like where you hit a kick drum, like a low thud would represent where the hammer needs to strike. And then Adam made sure to incorporate probably some of the main hits in the patterns that he's made based on those, to kind of, so that you're kind of syncing with key parts of the music. So they are preset, they're not randomized. I don't know whether post-release, whether we'll add more patterns or maybe play within those patterns, we'll see. But at the moment they're preset. There's a bunch of variations that he's written specific music for. But once he'd made like the aesthetic one track for it, he could play around with the style that he'd established to quickly make other ones. So yeah, other questions? Yep, Flan?
With all these different themes in the Forge area, did you have to like consider how the Forge ambient would blend into these or blend out?
That's a good question. I didn't really consider it. The ambience is pretty, low key in terms of it's a bit of fire and steam and stuff that's going on. I actually hadn't considered it. I was in such a rush to kind of make patterns and just we're on a deadline that I just kind of I just have to get this out the door so that Adam can kind of make a thing. But we'll have different sliders and stuff in game for the music and like ambience and stuff and I'll probably do a pass where I will actually check that. Thank you for that question. I will double check it. It should be okay. Mostly we want people focused on the anvil striking sounds and the feedback within the mini game and the music at the time of playing anyways, that people might tune out the ambience a bit anyways or just be kind of vibing with the entire experience, hopefully. But no, it's not something I actually considered, even though I probably should have. Josh?
Did you put any thoughts into or consider how different rhythms or patterns, especially some of the more offbeat ones, might affect the difficulty of the minigame? And any thoughts of how you might balance that, or did you test them before?
Didn't have much time for testing. Mostly, in terms of testing, I wanted to establish first what higher end kind of tempo we could deal with, because we were constricted by the way that the rhythm system was set up. I don't know all of the details. The programmer set it up a particular way and we kind of just had to work with this, and he has changed it a bit over time. But mostly I wanted to establish what is the highest tempo that we want one of these mini games to be, that it's not too difficult for the player, and it's still debatable whether some of us may be slightly a bit difficult anyways for the hardest mode. Because we have these, if you see on the screen, we have level 1, level 2, level 3, that's relating to difficulty, and A and B represents if you're building an axe, then you're maybe making the handle, but also the blade. A is maybe the handle, B is the blade, or something within that. Anyways, I've gone off on a rambling. Trying to remember your original question. What was I going to say? Mostly pattern consideration. I try not to group too many consecutive 3 hits together, because at a higher speed it's kind of maybe difficult to kind of do that. And with the offbeat ones, I'm hoping that people will just kind of look at they'll have a visual representation of the thing scrolling along, and they'll have a general kind of beat that they're kind of a tempo that they're going, that they'll just kind of zone into just hitting things on time. But yeah, maybe the ominous track particularly might be a more difficult one. Again, probably should have play tested, but we might tweak things in the background, maybe with the pattern, simplify the patterns a little bit if we need to. We can do that, of course, in the back end, but keep the music the same, but maybe remove some of the hits if they prove to be too difficult. But I'm hoping that very soon we'll have a version that can be play tested, and I will play test it a lot, because I haven't even play tested some of these patterns yet. I think our programmer has, and maybe we can do some play testing in the house as well and see how people get on. But yeah, any other questions? Yeah, about question.
What is the rule when choosing a track the player will hear? Is it random, or is it associated with
well,
some kind of item?
As far as I understand it, the intention is that, or Bartosz said, how did the tracks get chosen, basically? In the Craftcraft demo, have you played the Craftcraft demo? Or basically, you get a when you're crafting something for a customer in the smithy, you get a radial menu with options for the styles that you're trying to do. So you might be commissioned to make, let's say, a sledgehammer or something. You might need to make the handle and also the head of the sledgehammer, and you can choose in the radial menu of whether you want to make an ominous handle or a cute handle. And this would be based on what the customer asks you. They give you clues as to what they're looking for their commission, so you need to choose the appropriate things based on that. And then we will, in the background, have assigned certain patterns to certain quest items that we're building. So the sledgehammer might have, I don't know, if the ominous one might be ominous A level 2 or something, and we will arbitrarily pick some. So I don't think it will be that randomized, but we have a bunch of patterns to play with that we can kind of put in different places. And because people are going to be trying to follow the aesthetics that the customer is asking for, they're less likely to run into much repeats in patterns throughout the game, unless they specifically go out of their way to, I want to make ominous everything in every single thing. Then they'll probably run into a fair amount more repeats than they would have, but that's a choice and they can do that. Yep. Any last questions before we? Yep, Matteo.
Are there any plans to do playtesting in the house before the game launches?
I would hope so. There's definitely no plans not to do playtesting in the house, but we're currently pulling all of the quests together for the game and getting it so that we can kind of flow through it and test it ourselves. But also, I'm sure we would want to test in some way in the house as well before as well, because it's always good to get external feedback, because we will have our own biases of what we're good at or what we understand about the game. Yeah, I hope so. I would say probably, yes. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, that's it. Yeah. Clap. I don't want that awkward silence where people start to clap and then I start talking again, and I got it anyways. Last up of our public presentations, I think, unless anybody's added any at the last second, it's Hjelte to talk about Stoner Scout and maybe launch it. Woo!
Should be able to just swap desktops. So Windows Control left, arrow key, and then it should be there.
Wait, what should be there?
On the bottom of Firefox, Stoner Scout at the bottom.
Firefox in the taskbar.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to stream this part? Because I feel like last time we...
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
It's fine? Okay.
We did it last time.
Okay.
Steve's not going to go after you. Let's take
Should we let's pull up the Steam page
Yeah,
just
let's pull
as a little background.
Let's have a little talk about the Stoner and the Scout. This is basically a game jam game that we made, the two of us and our co-conspirators, Pontus, Neil, Medium Chris, and Ugo. And actually we won that game jam, and we're like, the game is pretty sick. So we spent the last 6 months kind of in a part-time way, upgrading it a bit, making it a bit prettier, making way more levels. And yeah, it's like a full game now. It's crazy. So we will finally click release.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, working with this team, it's nice. We've been working very asynchronously for the most part, aside from, I guess, the last week has been a bit of a crunch. Up until basically all day today, we were working to jam as much polish in as possible, but it's good enough. There's still a couple things we want to fix, but yeah, definitely after this, we're gonna have a little launch party and just kind of put the game up on the big screen, and people are welcome to come by and check it out and play, and give us some feedback, some more, add some more tasks to our day one patch list. Yeah, it's more than anything, it's been a real pleasure working with the team that I've gotten to work with, and yeah, I think we're all very proud of it.
Yeah. Also, a little extra shout out to Mareike for doing the casual art, really awesome. Matteo did the trailer, and Aaron held up with all the publishing stuff, everything, right? So yeah, pretty happy with it.
I'm biased, but it's really sick.
Right?
Yep.
You can press it together.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's another one. We have to do this, and then we have to do it.
Yeah, we have to do it.
Okay, again.
No.
All right.
Real.
3, 2, 1. Oh, wait, we drag. 3, 2, 1. Wait. 3, 2, 1. We have to type it together. We have to type it together.
Oh yeah. Okay, you do Izzy.
Okay, yeah.
Mine.
Co-op.
All right, last time.
Okay, we're holding
All
the mouse down.
stabilized, yeah. 3, 2, 1,
go.
So good to do.
Yeah, it's like $5, so please buy it, play it, and review it. We will be eternally grateful.
And and right after the next presentation, once SGDC is over, we will have a little party here where we're gonna play the game together. And so if anyone wants to try it out real quick before they buy it. Yes?
If we write a review, should it be on a different IP than Spelkollektivet?
Yeah, use the VP.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Brian?
You mentioned try before you buy method of thing. Have you considered buy before you try?
Yeah, we're gonna need to see
before
proof
they're
of
allowed
purchase.
to play the game, to buy it and show evidence.
You know, we're so confident in our product that we think you can try it and then still want to buy it.
Wow. Check out. Question actually.
Oh, yeah.
How long would you say you worked on this? I know you said asynchronously, but
Yeah.
like how much time would you say you worked on it?
Yeah, that's a good question because like the game jam was like 6 months ago, maybe even 7 months ago. And yeah, but like we certainly weren't working full time on it. Like I would say like there was probably only like 3 of us working on it at a time, and probably like a couple days a week, basically sporadically over those few months. Like if we had condensed it all, I think probably like 2 or 3 months development timeline is what it essentially came out to, something like that.
James said you can pay Tommy the missing 25 krona.
That was because Harry said that it's 25 krona it's in the Steam store.
Oh. Cool. Alright, thank you guys.
I assume I'll just hit stop when I'm ready to kind of thing. Okay, that's been our SGDC. We do have an offline presentation, but you can't see that because you're not here, so you should come here. And if you can't come here, you can support us on Patreon, where we can get some nice stuff for the house, for the homies that live here. We'll be back again next Thursday at the same time, showing our stuff. So thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.